It's among Nkomo's Zipra guerrillas that discontent is at its most dangerous. The men who rebelled at Ntumbani have been moved to country areas outside Bulawayo. Hostile and suspicious, 1,200 of them are camped next to a farm belonging to Henry Watson. Every day Mr. Watson drives to and fro among them, and the government's claims that they've been disarmed and are waiting to go into the National Army do not reassure him.
We feel it's like living on a time bomb, that something must happen somewhere along the line. They have arms and they just don't display them when they are visible.
They're supposed, of course, to be integrated into the National Army, but they don't seem to show any great enthusiasm for it. I mean, what is in fact the situation?
At the moment, I don't know, except that we were told at one time about 2 weeks ago that they were going to be moved into town away from Bulawayo, and a large number of trucks actually arrived out on our bridge, which is 1 kilometre away from the camp. But then they turned around and went back to Bulawayo. They didn't take them in, and the people in the camp said that they had received no orders. This was the commander, David, said that he had received no actual orders to leave.
But it's very unclear, isn't it, who exactly he takes his orders from, because theoretically he's supposed to take it from the National Army, but in fact they seem to be obeying just their Zipra commanders.
This is what it appears to be. You know, we don't know. All he said was that he had not received any orders to move, so he couldn't move. He had to maintain his position.
The Watsons are also trying to maintain their position. Every night, young Gary Watson counts sheep to make sure that none have gone missing. How do you feel about your own future as a white farmer in this country?
I hope that the country will become peaceful and we can remain here and make a go of our farm that we've battled all these years to build up.
Do you believe it will?
Lately I've had my doubts. Up until then there was no doubt. During the war years that was fine. We thought this would come to an end and then everything would be peaceful and whatnot. But now with the murders that are going on in the farming community, it's hard to know whether it's going to be your turn next, that they're going to try and get a few shillings for the sake of your life.
So really that feeling of confidence which you had almost throughout the war is just slightly evaporating?
You're right, yes. There's certainly less of a feeling of security now than we had before, even although then it was a more dangerous situation as such. Now it's like waiting to be mugged in the city when you don't know who's going to mug you, where before you knew who your enemies were.
It's in the beautiful countryside around the Gwai River that Prime Minister Robert Mugabe's government is facing its real test in taking charge of Matabele land. Camped around a disused mine are more than 5,000 heavily armed Zipra guerrillas, the hardcore of what was once Joshua Nkomo's army. This is their last stronghold. The soldiers don't like journalists, so we filmed them secretly as they turned us away at the gate of the camp. It's these men that Robert Mugabe must disarm if he is to achieve full power. So far, they've rejected all attempts to take away their guns. Even Nkomo says he can't control them. We're flying about as close to the Gwai River mine as you can safely get. The guerrillas dug in down there have told all pilots to stay at least 10 miles away from their positions, and we're flying at about half that distance. Down below are more than 5,000 men, armed with everything from heavy machine guns to Soviet anti-aircraft missiles. It's a natural fortress defying Mugabe's government. I spoke to a white army officer who asked that his identity be concealed. He believes that Zipra are prepared to fight.
Right. There is a battalion situated on the forward slopes of this hill feature over here. Right. There is a further battalion on the rearward slope over here. Another battalion occupies the high ground, which I explained to you in this area but did not draw in. The other battalion on the rearward slope of this hill feature, and the other one in this area over here. As you can see, all the vantage points in the area have a troop presence, and I think you can rest assured that any other further outlying hill features that command a bit of a view will have a presence on top of them.
So how Do you fancy the chances of the National Army in taking out that lot?
It will be fairly difficult. As Winston Churchill said, it will be long, it will be hard, and there will be much bloodshed, but they will take it out. We have the aircraft, we have artillery to match and better theirs and so on. We could do it, but as I say, it will not be easy.
Do you believe the government is really going to take on this danger, this gamble of trying to destroy the Zipper presence at the mine?
Well, I would say that it is almost definitely a very big thorn in the Prime Minister's side, and probably very high on his list of priorities to take the sword out of the Matabele people's hand, if you like.
So you're really laying the blame pretty fairly and squarely on Prime Minister Robert Mugabe's government?
Yeah, of course, completely, right on his shoulders. Proportionally, all right, we'll say that he has got the majority, but there are still a hell of a lot of Matabele people in this country. Too many to turn a blind eye to. And if he continues to turn a blind eye, well, I think that turning his back on it is going to end up with a boot up his backside.
I don't